Are you curious about how your mind works and how you can become even better? You're in for a treat. Here at Optimal UTV, we take big ideas from psychology and personal development books and make them easy to understand. Today, we're summarizing the book named Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, written by Dweck. This book can change the way you think and help you do better in life. Book link is available in description. Imagine having the power to make your life awesome, to break free from things that hold you back, and to be your best self. That's what this book on mindset is all about. We're going to learn about two mindsets, fixed and growth, and how they can shape your life, from how your past affects how you think to simple things you can do to grow. We've got it covered. So if you want to feel more confident, face challenges, and get inspired, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our cool summaries. At Optimal UTV, we're all about helping you be the best you can be. Let's jump into the world of thinking and getting better together. When it comes to our body's physical traits, like the shape of our skull or the size of our foot, these are mostly determined from the beginning and hard to change. While we can have surgery or deal with injuries, we generally can't control these features. But what about skills like playing basketball, drawing, or solving math problems? Are we born with them, or can we learn them? Nowadays, most scientists agree that becoming really good at something, like playing the violin, requires both a natural inclination and lots of practice over many years. However, people have different opinions, just like there are different people. This is because our way of thinking influences how we see ourselves and others. In simple terms, our way of thinking shapes what we believe we can achieve. There are two main ways of thinking about this: having a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset think they're naturally good at some things, but not capable of others. On the other hand, people with a growth mindset believe that with enough effort, they can become skilled at anything. People with a growth mindset keep developing and learning throughout their lives. They learn new things without holding back and actively work on their relationships. They see life as always changing and full of opportunities. In contrast, people with a fixed mindset let their rigid thinking block their progress. If they don't succeed, they might avoid the issue or blame others. They might expect their relationships to be perfect without putting effort into them. So, the way we think affects whether we believe we can learn, change, and improve, or if we think we can't. Key takeaway 1. Fixed mindset beliefs. In the fixed mindset, people think that a person's skills are fixed and cannot change. People with this mindset believe that either a person is naturally smart and skilled, or they are not and won't ever be. For instance, big companies like Enron and McKinsey follow this thinking by searching for naturally talented individuals in universities. They hire these so-called naturals, expecting them to instantly improve the company because of their exceptional abilities. However, since these talented hires are seen as already skilled, they don't receive much training and aren't encouraged to grow in their careers or take on new roles. As a result, their bosses constantly assess them. Do these new hires truly have the intelligence we thought they did, or do their mistakes show that they lack the talent for the job? Those with a fixed mindset believe that if employees aren't perfect right away, they'll never become good, so it's better to let them go quickly. Furthermore, people with a fixed mindset think they can only do things they're naturally good at. They don't believe that practice can make them better, because they're quick to judge themselves and others as either skilled or not. They assume that others are also judging them all the time. This makes them feel like they have to prove their talent and intelligence whenever they can. They feel like their whole identity is on the line. One mistake could make others see them as incapable forever. They always seek approval from others to protect their self-esteem and confirm that they are indeed as outstanding as they believe. In the fixed mindset, a person's abilities are thought to be unchangeable. Key takeaway 2. The growth mindset approach to learning and progress. When kids with a growth mindset are given a tough math problem in school, they get excited about the challenge and even want to solve more problems like it when they're at home. They understand that by solving more problems, they can learn more. Kids with a growth mindset believe that life has endless possibilities for them. It's hard to figure out exactly how smart they are right now, let alone predict how smart they'll be in the future. Their grades might show how well they're doing at a certain time, but these kids believe that with hard work, dedication, and not giving up, they can learn even more. What's more, they aren't just trying to get the highest grades or be better than everyone else. They want to feel proud of themselves for pushing their own limits and getting better. Whether it's playing music, doing sports, writing, or drawing, they practice a lot and understand that practicing and sometimes making mistakes are the ways to improve. People with a growth mindset really like learning new things from the best in a certain field. They think again about old ways of doing things and are always trying to find their mistakes and fix them. In their relationships, they support their partners to keep learning and improving. When they're in sports, they play to help their team. If they have a business, they treat their workers well, appreciate their workers well, appreciate their work, and ask them for honest opinions, even if it's not easy to hear. People with a growth mindset don't see problems as impossible challenges. They see them as things they can overcome. They're willing to put effort into becoming better and making the world better. In the growth mindset, it's possible to keep growing and getting better. Key takeaway 3. Individuals holding a fixed mindset aim for approval, while those embracing a growth mindset strive for personal development. Lee Iacocca became the CEO of Chrysler Motors when the company was almost falling apart. He was quick in making decisions and understood how to work with the employees, which helped save the company from failing. However, things changed after that. Iacocca's behavior took a sudden turn. He started relying too much on his past successes, showing off how great he was, and caring more about his own image than the company's well-being. His main goal became getting approval from others. This shows that Iacocca had a fixed mindset. He saw things as either good or bad and felt like people were constantly judging him, deciding if he was a winner or a loser. Because he wanted to be seen as a winner, he focused on looking smart and talented instead of finding ways to make the company better. On the other hand, let's look at Lou Gerstner, who became the leader of IBM when it was in serious trouble. The company had a fixed mindset culture, where there were a lot of internal disagreements instead of cooperation and teamwork. Everyone was mainly thinking about themselves, which meant the company wasn't meeting the needs of its customers. To change this, Gerstner broke down the company's strict hierarchy and emphasized working together as a team. He rewarded employees who supported their coworkers. He also made it easier for everyone to communicate, and he made himself accessible to his employees. This allowed him to quickly connect with many employees personally. Gerstner's growth mindset helped him create a new work culture based on teamwork and improvement. The focus shifted from individuals trying to succeed on their own to everyone working together to get better. Because of this approach, he brought long-lasting success to IBM. In simple terms, people with a fixed mindset care a lot about getting approval from others. But people with a growth mindset care more about getting better and developing themselves. Key takeaway 4. In the fixed mindset, failures are viewed as catastrophic events, while the growth mindset perceives them as chances for growth. Failure can have a big impact on people with a fixed mindset. Consider the golfer Sergio Garcia. When he was doing poorly in his games, he angrily fired multiple caddies and even got mad at his shoes. He took off his shoes and threw them at someone nearby out of frustration. People with a fixed mindset don't think they can learn from their mistakes. If they fail once, they believe they'll always be failures. A single loss makes them feel like all their past successes don't matter anymore. To protect their self-confidence, people with a fixed mindset make excuses, cheat, or stop caring and ignore the problem. They don't ask for help or look at what they're not good at. They don't try to improve by practicing because they think they're already done learning. They don't see themselves as a work in progress. Even someone as great as basketball star Michael Jordan had times when he didn't succeed at everything. He missed a lot of important shots, about 26 times, which could have won the game for his team. But instead of avoiding the issue, he practiced those shots over and over again. By the end of his career, he was the best at making those shots. Michael Jordan clearly had a growth mindset. Instead of blaming his teammates or the court, he looked for ways to get better at his own skills in the game. He studied his mistakes, practiced even more, and listened to advice from others. He truly believed that he could change his losses into victories if he worked hard enough. In the fixed mindset, failures are seen as huge problems. But in the growth mindset, they're seen as chances to get better. Key takeaway 5. Fixed mindset avoids challenges. Growth mindset welcomes them. There are many things in life that we can only achieve by putting in effort. But when people with a fixed mindset face tough situations, all they see are the dangers. This is because the more time and energy they spend on something, the fewer excuses they have if they fail. They strongly believe in the power of natural talent, thinking that if someone is gifted, they shouldn't have to try so hard. This way of thinking makes it really hard for people with a fixed mindset to improve themselves without doubting their own talent. So they stay away from challenging situations because they don't want to risk looking foolish. A musician named Nadja Salerno. Sonnenberg acted like this. When she was just 10 years old, people praised her music a lot, but by the time she turned 18, she was holding her violin the wrong way, and her fingers were too stiff. Whenever she tried to learn something new, she got so scared of failing that she stopped bringing her violin to lessons and stopped playing altogether. If the actor Christopher Reeve had this kind of thinking, he would have stayed completely paralyzed from the neck down forever, just like the doctors said after his accident. But he had a growth mindset. Instead of giving up, he took control of his situation. He went through a really tough training plan, and then something amazing happened. Against all the predictions, he moved his hands, then his legs, and finally, his whole upper body. Challenges give people with a growth mindset a chance to do things that really matter to them. The more down they feel, the more they work hard to change their fate. Like Reeve, they try to make things that seem impossible actually happen. People with a fixed mindset avoid hard things, but those with a growth mindset welcome them. Key takeaway 6. The way we think is often shaped by the examples we looked up to in our early years. Several factors contribute to whether a person develops a growth mindset or a fixed mindset, and whether they fulfill their potential or remain stagnant. The foundation of mindset starts when we are born. Babies naturally have a growth mindset. They want to learn and develop every day. The adults around a child, often their parents, play a crucial role in shaping whether that desire to grow continues or if a fixed mindset takes over. Parents serve as mindset examples. Parents with a growth mindset encourage their children to keep learning, while those with a fixed mindset tend to judge their children and dictate what's right or wrong. Even babies between the ages of 1 and 3 show this. Babies with a growth mindset will try to help another crying baby while fixed. Mindset babies might be bothered by it. Teachers are also important influencers of children's mindsets. Some teachers believe that students' performance can't change, that good students will always do well, and struggling students will never improve. This can lead weaker students to develop a fixed mindset. However, good teachers, those who truly believe that all students can learn anything, handle things differently. They show students different ways to solve problems or understand difficult subjects. Weaker students under these teachers adopt a growth mindset and start getting better grades. They no longer think of themselves as naturally dumb. It's important to note that our mindset isn't set in stone. It can change. It can change, especially during childhood when we adopt the mindsets of those we look up to. Our mindset is often shaped by the role models we had when we were young. Key takeaway 7. Everyone can develop a growth mindset and achieve the seemingly impossible. No one is stuck being influenced only by their environment when it comes to their mindset. The brain can be trained, much like a muscle. If we want a growth mindset, we can gradually teach ourselves to think that way. Here's an example. Imagine you accidentally drop a plate and it breaks. Your first thought might be a fixed one, like, "I'm so clumsy." But if you're aware of this reaction and want to change it, you can work on developing a growth mindset by thinking mistakes happen. I'll clean this up and be more careful next time. Working on having a growth mindset gives us a chance to ask for help from others, discuss our mistakes openly, and create practical plans to reach our goals. It's important to know that getting rid of a fixed mindset isn't easy. It might have become like an emotional safety net over time. It shields us from failure, makes our parents and partners proud, and boosts our confidence. It's comforting. So letting go of it can feel really uncomfortable. Actually, you don't have to completely get rid of a fixed mindset. In many cases, adopting a growth perspective is enough. For example, even if someone believes they're not good at sports, they might still be improving a lot at work every day. Having a growth mindset in any area lets us do things that seem impossible, like Christopher Reeve did, and keep getting better at what we're good at, like Michael Jordan did. This kind of mindset is the key to finding fulfillment in ourselves. Everyone has the ability to adopt a growth mindset and achieve things that might seem impossible. Final summary. The key message of this book is, people who have a fixed mindset limit their own progress because they believe in inborn talent and fear failing. In contrast, those with a growth mindset put in effort and practice to reach their full potential. By challenging our own thoughts, we can develop a growth mindset. This book provides answers to the following questions. 1. How do people vary in their mindset? Our mindset determines whether we think we can learn, change, and grow, or if we think we can't. 2. How does our mindset influence our actions? Those with a fixed mindset seek approval, while those with a growth mindset seek personal development. Fixed mindset individuals view failures as disasters, while those with a growth mindset view them as chances to learn. People with a fixed mindset avoid challenges, while those with a growth mindset welcome them. 3. Can we change our mindset? Our mindset is often shaped by the role models we had when we were young. Anyone can adopt a growth mindset and achieve things that might seem impossible. Thank you for joining us on this insightful journey through the Mindset book. You can find the book link in description. Remember, the way we think shapes our actions and ultimately, our successes. Stay tuned for more enriching summaries on psychology and personal development here at Optimal UTV. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep growing with us. Until next time, keep embracing the growth mindset and thriving on your journey to self-improvement.